Praise the Lord, church.
Praise the Lord.
Well, mine's probably going to be a little more of a different perspective, which I guess is what we're going for. So that works. But the question came to my mind when Brittany was talking, and it was, what is a soul? And what do we view as a soul? Do we view the perfect people as a soul, or do we view, like she said, the people who are in the streets and who are the big sinners, even though there's no such thing, sin is sin. Whether they're believing false doctrine or whether they're out and doing things that we don't even want to imagine, they are still a soul.
Yes.
So I think that is one thing that has always been so important to me, is stripping them of what we think that they are, if that makes sense. Because we don't really know them. We don't know what's going through their life, but they need somebody, and that somebody could be you. So I'm going to start out with John 12:32, and it says, "And if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me." So how do we lift him up? Well, through my experience, I've learned that you have to be separate. I know we talk about this a lot, but you have to be separate. You can't be like everybody else, because how are they going to know that you're different if you're the same? You have to be committed. You have to show yourself friendly. You have to be the part, which is about being separate. But that means every single day, every single second, even when you're having a bad day, like you have to be that person. If you're having a bad day, they could be having a worse day, and they may need you.
True.
So keep that in mind. Freddie kind of trampled all over my stuff, so be consistent, be available, and be present. Being available and being present are two different things. You may be able to do it, but actually being there and putting yourself where they are is a totally different thing. Another thing I found out is you have to know what you're talking about. Because they're going to have questions, even if they are just trying to trip you up. They will ask them, and you will be standing there with a blank expression on your face, and even if you don't have the answer and you have to look it up, it's nice to know some things when you go into this. And another thing is, don't be ashamed.
Come on.
I mean, I think that is one of the biggest battles that we fight when we're witnessing, is being ashamed, because, oh my goodness, we're out in front of all these people and they're looking at us. They look at us anyways because we're dressed funny, but now we're talking craziness and worshiping like psychos. So, you know what? It leaves an impression, it really does. So I'm going to talk about some of the experiences that I've had in outreach. When I was in school at OSU, we had a CMI group, and what we would do is we would get together on Monday nights, we would eat dinner at our pastor's house, and we would just talk about what God was doing. We'd talk about what's happening in our days. We would fellowship, and we'd spend time together. Well, eventually we would invite people, and some people would come, some people wouldn't, but they got to see that the crazy skirt girls are pretty normal, and they have a lot of fun when they're together. And another thing is of course, I haven't always been faithful, but when I came back, I was a completely different person, and I didn't say anything, and nobody in my class said anything. But mind you, we spent probably 30 plus hours a week together, and eventually they would ask, out of nowhere, my friend said, "So, what's with this? What's with the skirt?" And I said, "Oh, I like it, so I'm going to wear it." And she said, "Okay, cool." And, it just kind of opened that door, and we were able to talk about things that God has done, because she does have a religious background. And that's another thing. If they already have some form of religion, talk about it with them.
Come on.
I mean, they may not know the full truth, but they know something. Just talk to them. Because, then you may say something and they're going to be like, what? So, just talk to them about it, Like she said, don't discredit their faith just because they don't believe what you believe.
Right, amen.
They still love God.
Yes,
They just don't know Him completely yet.
True.
And then another experience we had at school is our CMI group. We took about 5 or 6 people to the union, and we had a prayer meeting before school. And the union is the center of life at OSU. There's food there, which if there's food there, people are going to be there. There's shops, there's all kinds of stuff going on in there. But when we went in there was nobody in there. And then we were getting to the end of the time when we were praying, and this guy walks in. And we're like, okay. He kind of walks to the other side of the room and sits down and looks back at his phone, and then he would look again. So then Shannon got up, and she walked over, and she said, we're praying. Do you want to come pray with us? And this guy just kind of looked at her, and he was like, yeah. So then he came over, and he was praying with us. And then we were able to witness to him and invite him to our CMI dinner, and we exchanged information, and we were able to establish a connection. Still waiting on him to come, but it could happen that seed was planted. Right after that, I'm telling you, there was 10 people walking up and down the hallways. There was not a soul in there when we got in there. But just people just started flooding in, and we started talking to people. And like I said, they still haven't come, but that doesn't mean that they won't. That doesn't mean that they won't intercept another apostolic church where they're from. If you just put yourself out there, God will do it. It's right there. It's in His Word. So if I'm going to be a light and I'm going to reflect Him, then He is going to take care of the rest. Another thing that I experienced is when we were in Brazil, we did a lot of street evangelism. We went to a church one time in the full, probably 13 services that we had there. We had church on the beach. We had church in a hotel, multiple hotels actually. And, the workers, they got to see 800 plus people going up to this room. And it was really hot, so you know that they weren't in there because of whatever. You knew that they were there for a reason. And, like I said, we were on the beach, and that's another thing. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place, but things are coming to my mind.
Good.
And you just have to listen to what God's telling you to do. He's going to prompt you to do things. Because it was my turn to talk when we were on the beach. And I was like, God, what am I going to talk about? I'm supposed to talk in 6 hours. What am I going to talk about? And he was like, just talk about where you came from. Talk about your testimony. And I was like, God, the president for Oklahoma and the UPC guys here, I really don't want to talk about that. He said, do it. And so I argued with him for a very long time. But you know what? I shared my experience coming back into the church, and there were 2 backsliders there. Just walking by on the beach. We were just praising and worshiping. I talked about that. And God lined it up because Brother Boyd talked about it, and then somebody else talked about it. And, I just feel like it was really the will of God. And those 2 people got linked up with the church there. And then there was 2 girls that didn't even know God who were praying for the Holy Ghost. And you knew God was in it because then the adversary came in and he tried to destroy it. But you know what? They still had an experience. And everybody that walked by, they had an experience too because we were loud. And that's okay. And then a couple other experiences we had in Brazil. We were singing in a marketplace. Now, it's not like an outdoor market. It's indoors. And it doesn't really have walls. It's just little booths. And we were just echoing from the front all the way to the back. We were just singing and passing out food to homeless people. And we were just being involved. And then again, people were walking by and we were getting the look. But I didn't care. Nobody that was there cared. And they began to get interested. We had somebody who got linked up with the missionary who was there because of that experience. And then on the same lines, before our service that night, they told us, you're going to sing for about an hour to 30 minutes out in front of the hotel. And I was like, we only know 2 songs in Portuguese. They were like, well, just sing them in English. And so we sang some songs in English, we sang in Portuguese. Some of the young people from Sao Paulo were singing with us, and they were singing in Portuguese. And come to find out, there was a guy in the library across the street getting very annoyed at us. And he was coming over to tell us to stop. But he came up into service with us. And there was an experience. We were in the upper room, believe it or not, and there was an experience of God that I don't know that I've ever felt in my life. But he got to experience that because we annoyed him. I mean, sometimes it's just that persistency. Sometimes it's just being in the right place at the right time and just doing what he asks you to do. I mean, that's as simple as it is. People think that outreach has to be this big, elaborate thing. But it could just be listening, being there, and being loud. I mean, and then a couple of other ideas is we would put ourselves out. When I was in Minnesota, I remember this because we would do Sunday school on Saturday. And when I was a kid, it felt like we did Sunday school on Saturday, every Saturday, because we were always busy doing something for God. And you know what? Now that I look back on it, I'm grateful. Because that service would bring all of these little kids, and they would get to learn about Jesus, and they would get prizes, and they would get snacks, and they would be able to be witnessed to, and we'd be at a park, and their parents were there, and we could witness to them, and they just had a good time. And we would also go into our neighborhood, and we would take this little rope with bells, and it was all tied up with, it was like really long too, but it had bells and everything, and the Sunday school kids would walk over to the neighborhood with one of our teachers, with train whistles and conductor hats on, and we would invite people to church to go to church with us on the Sunday School Express. And you know what? We had 20 to 30 kids at some point. You know, if we make it into something, well, if we make it into what it is, we just have to be the vessel. We just have to be there. We have to be present. We have to do what is asked of us. And he will do his part, and he will bring the increase. And that is all I have for now. Oh, just kidding. And you can also use social media for your glory, for his glory.
Amen.
And last night we were at a Christmas party. And I know that he works for the company that my mom works with, but his wife, she was just so excited to see me. And I was like, usually she just looks like me like I'm crazy when I go over and talk to her. But she was waving, and she was all happy. And I walked over, and me and her had a whole conversation. Well, by the end of the night, I was like, hey, can I add you on Facebook so I can keep up with you? Because I don't see her anymore, because I don't work there at Back Daddy's anymore. And she said, yes, please. And so I added her on Facebook, and you know what? You can use those tools for his glory. It doesn't have to be about you. You can share a scripture that could just pique somebody's interest. I mean, you don't know what it's going to take. You don't know what they need to hear. But your obedience, it can change people's lives. And with that, I'm done.